Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right, Trump civil trial. We're ready for closing arguments. And Donald Trump and his lawyers have been in negotiations with Judge Engoron regarding this. And Judge Engoron said, yeah, Trump can speak so long as he contains his comments to comments that would normally be made during closing arguments. You know, what are the facts? What's the law? And the interpretation of that. You know, no attacking members of the court, no campaigning, no running on and on and on about irrelevant topics. So basically, Trump's attorneys were like, well, I would never recommend my client agree to such things. And the judge's like, hey, this is normal. Closing arguments for closing arguments. And the judge extended it 3 times, gave him 3 different extensions. And Trump won't agree to any of those extensions because he doesn't want to be contained to actually, behave himself in court. So I want to do a quick reading on this. Will Trump show up for the closing arguments, and what's going to be the energy around that? Okay, back here. I just wanted to confirm when the date was, and that's going to be on the 11th of January, which is tomorrow as I recorded this, coming up this morning or so when you watch this. Also, the E. Jean Carroll case starts in 6 days. So, good times. All right, so will Trump be at the New York civil trial tomorrow? Just a little quick 4 cards. Is he going to be showing up there? There's the justice card. Yeah, he'll be there. It's going to be the drunken hillbilly brawl. He's not going to be able to talk. He's going to victimize himself. He's been a victim. Of course he's going to show up. Yeah, the judge put, in Trump's mind, the judge put an undue burden on him by not letting him speak. So he's going to be outside talking about the injustice of it all. It's all a witch hunt. All the same rhetoric that he always gives. And that he's just been a victim of this. And he's a hostage also because he's not allowed to speak in front of the judge on things that need to be said because the judge is biased and doesn't want to hear him as a Biden Democrat or whatever diarrhea spews out of the orifice that they call his little mouth. Yeah, he'll be there tomorrow because it's drama, and he's going to be the center of attention. Because he's going to be center of attention. There's no broadcasting of this. There's no live streaming, so you're going to have all this media in New York ready to go. You think Trump's not going to show up for that? Oh, his ego can't do anything but show up for that. All right. Let's read the energy around around closing arguments tomorrow. Now, mind you, the closing arguments don't really matter for anything. It's not a jury trial. It's a bench trial. And do you really think at this point anybody's going to be convincing the judge of anything from all the evidence that was shown on there? But I want to read on the energy around this closing arguments court date for the 11th. Page of Pentacles. It's kind of like your last chance to get to save a quarter or get an extra quarter out of the system here. I don't think there's going to be anything big or new brought up with that King of Swords. The case is done. The case is done. It's done. It's done. It's done. Anything that happens tomorrow is kind of small potatoes on the whole thing. But it's your last chance to make your points, to bat away, to remind the judge of futile arguments that the other side is making. False charges, false accusations, fraud, lies, deception. So again, it's a way to remind the judge because he's going to start sending the money. In the past, I got the Knight of Pentacles. Lots of money. A lot of information, a lot of things about money coming through in this trial. About the fraud, the money laundering, just all money based, and the different ways that fraud was committed. More money. Current situation with the closing trial. It's now up to the judge to just determine disgorgement and how much of that money is going to be going to the state of New York. Which, by the way, Letitia James upped her $250 million to like $370 million. You go, girl. Go get the cashola. 370 would be pretty darn close to what I was thinking there. I think I had, 400 to 500,000 would be, 400 to 500 million, excuse me. And if we got more than 500 million, amazing. But, 370 is going to be close to that 400. So we'll see what happens. The judge may give her more. Overarching energy is Judge Engeron, the King of Cups. He has weathered this case. Generally speaking, he's maintained his temper and control over his emotions. Quite the opposite of Donald Trump, just losing his mind every time something doesn't go his way. So you got the King of Swords judging it, and the emotional maturity that the judge has exhibited. The outcome, or the lesson to be learned from all this, is the Ten of Cups. Hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. I think the pot of gold at the end of Trump's rainbow is about to get turned over to New York because he didn't declare that pot of gold on his income for that year. I think this is going to be New York celebrating a case where a corrupt wealthy man thought he could get away with not paying taxes. One of the things I was hearing the other day was that because Trump and his adult progeny were misrepresenting the wealth and value of the Trump estate and properties, the better interest rates they got saved them about $170 million in interest rates. So that's like, baseline. If the judge agrees that like all these things were done to get better interest rates, and if that expert's right, there's already $170 million that's going to be ruled against Trump. So this is going to be a case worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Oh, outcome and pay he shall. There's going to be a big payout, and this is also going to impact the Trump legacy. Absolutely, this is going to be devastating to the Trump legacy. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. And it's going to be a harsh judgment. It's going to be no-nonsense disgorgement. Yeah, there's going to be a huge disgorgement. And not only that, you have a pair of tens in this reading. A couple of kings and a pair of tens. Trump is going to be really poor when this is all said and done. I'm curious, will Trump storm out? Is he going to be... What kind of drama will he cause? Because obviously there's going to be drama tomorrow. He's either, will he stay around for all the closing arguments? Will he storm out? He's going to have a presser. Again, he'll have a presser. I think the cameras are allowed to interview him before the closing arguments, and I'm sure they will interview him when he leaves. He may not talk too much when he leaves. He might be so pissed that it just might be one of those ones like the last time where he just says, this was a witch hunt, this is a complete travesty, and then he storms off, and the Secret Service are like looking around thinking it was going to be a 15-minute speech, and he's gone after 15 seconds, and they have to go find him and make sure that, he rolls into his motorcade. So, what will be the drama with Trump tomorrow? He's the star of the show. That's the drama. He's the star of the show. That's all. And he's going to take that opportunity to be the star of the show. He's going to leave. Okay, so you have Choppy Waters leaving to calmer shores. I think he's going to leave quickly. I do think he's going to leave quickly. This trial is going to be over with, and he's just going to want to go. The Chariot. Smug merchant and the 8 of swords. He's, again, he's the star. He's going to complain about how he should be out campaigning and doing stuff like that. And this witch hunt is just after his money, and, it's corruption on the highest order, and he's just a victim. This case never should have gone forward, but, he's the star of the show, but he's going to, he'll leave. He'll leave. He'll stay for the whole thing. When it's over with, he's going to leave. But again, he's going to hold court. Probably before he will hold court, and at the end of the trial, he'll probably leave rather quickly and quietly. Now, it's hard to believe that sometimes, right? Because when does Trump ever leave quietly? But that might just happen on this one. But believe me, it's the narcissism and arrogance will be on full display. I do not expect him to avoid this. The spotlight is there. This is the time for the star of the show to come out. Okay. Any last thoughts on what the judgment amount might be against Trump? How will Letitia James feel about the judgment amount that Judge Engoron levels against Trump once he makes his decision? With her being happy, being okay if it's 250 and happy if it's 370 or above. Okay, let's see. She's happy. Celebration. Big money. Big money. She was wise to increase the amount. Played her cards right. Great case. Put a great case together. Disgorgement is happening. And justice will be served with this. He will be paying what he needs to pay. He's not going to get a break on this one. The fool. New beginnings, foolish behaviors. Basically, it's time actually in starting new journeys on this one. Obviously, Trump will protest. He will protest the amount, and it's going to be appealed. But I think everything worked out great for Letitia James. What is underneath here? That's the Drunken Hillbilly Brawl. There's a 5. I still think it's going to be, that 500 million plus or minus 100 million. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 370, but it could be a little bit more than that. Again, victory, wise choice, going for more money. It's going to cost Trump a bundle, and justice is going to be served. And it's a fair. Here's the thing. It looks like it's a fair assessment. And that that Trump's not going to win it on appeal. At least that's not the vibe I'm getting. Picture if he won, he had $170 million, and so he has to pay back the 170, and then there's punishment, and it would be like double that 170. So 170 million or so for what he defrauded the banks out of, and then twice that as a punishment so he doesn't ever do it again. So, again, if this ends up being like $500 million, $510 million, I would not be even a little bit surprised. If it's $250 million, folks, be happy. Heck, it's $170 million, which is the amount they saved on interest alone. That's great. It'll be more than that. Because you want to punish him too. It's not, you got to pay money. Because you have to pay interest on it too and stuff like that. Unless that already takes into account interest over time. But I'm sure they made money on that money. So you can take that into account. And then, there should be a punishment for that. So that you dissuade him from ever doing that again. It's going to be big, righteous bucks. And we will see that when it comes. Okay? And remember, this is very important. 2 things. 1, he's lost his ability to do business in New York. And his adult spawn for many years can't work in New York. So he won't be able to do any more business deals in New York. 2, he has to basically liquidate all his company's assets. And basically all his property is in his company's assets. So there'll be a fight about that. But he has to do that too. Which means that when you liquidate those assets, you have to pay back the money you owe on them. Because the bank owns the note on the building that's being sold. Right? Trump doesn't own the note. The bank does. So he has to pay the bank back because it's the bank's building that's getting sold. And without a way to make money in New York and taking away his capital that he has to sell his units and pay back, he may not have a whole lot of money left over. Without that monetary base, he is going to be much more susceptible to future litigations because he can't outspend his opponents. He's lost the power of that wealth that comes with it. And so all he can do is grift. So I expect the grifting to go into overdrive because that's his only source of revenue. And there's going to be people breaking contracts and taking down Trump Towers. And it's just going to be a litigation hell for him when everything comes out of this. So he made his bed and now he's going to sleep in it. And you don't have to be cheering and rooting for him to be miserable. He's going to do that all on his own. And you could just say, well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, F around and find out, that sort of thing. Well, what will be, will be. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithms. My video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel for the first time or recently, welcome. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.